All right. Good evening, everybody. I can see some comments already reflecting into my system here. How are you guys? Let's see how many of you are there already. I can see close to about 75 reflecting on high school moms, one group, and I can now see. Oh my God. Okay, we are way above 300. It's climbing really fast. Ladies and gentlemen, this is so good to see you back after a long time. And I can see people already joining. Gauri Prabhu, Shraddha Devikar, and five others. I do not see the names. Aruna Ehlawat, Madhuri Yeksude, Ravi Batra, Srinivas Reddy, Shalini Gupta. All right, this is so good. All right, guys, what you really need to do is, as always, allow Facebook to allow StreamYard to access your name. Otherwise, what it will show me in my system is only and only a Facebook user. And you definitely do not want me to address you as a Facebook user. So I can see Gauri Prabhu's message already reflecting into the system now. She says, hello, Abhishek. Hi, Gauri. How are you? Aruna Alawat, good evening to you. Shraddha Devekar, hello. All right. So Sarmishta Patra has also joined in, and the numbers are rising. We are way above 400 now across all the Facebook groups and pages. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is the night. I have two really good people, a very good friend who are joining here to empower you with some information that you will love to listen to. Always, isn't it? We keep on wondering that, oh my God, if my child would have got an opportunity to compete at an international level, I would also have had the certificate for my child, and my child might have been able to get that so-called holistic profile, which all these universities keep on talking about when they talk to Abhishek. And I might also be in contention to apply to a great university with scholarship, isn't it? Now, more often than not, when a person like me, and I've been coming and talking to you for years, when a person like me comes and talks to you about profile, it all sounds so gray, right? I mean, it is something which, okay, Shalini Gupta, you are asking me to now come to Pune. I've just visited Mumbai and I had a fabulous session with the kids and the counselors in Mumbai. I will definitely plan Pune very, very shortly. I promise I'm going to be there. Anyway, so yeah, so whenever I come and I interact with these big universities, and you'd know that I do not allow them go easy, right? So I ensure that I'll ask them the tough questions because it's them who's going to actually make the career out of your child. And if they go easy, I am not going to fulfill my job, right? So what I will do is I'll hell ensure, and I promise you that the two super awesome friends of mine who are going to join tonight are not left easy. All right, they are definitely not left easy. We'll ask them all the difficult questions that we can ask, and in case if you ask me some questions and if they are not reflecting on my screen, do not worry. I will quickly swipe across all the Facebook pages and take some questions from the Facebook. And all right, Bhavisha Buddhadeo is saying this side, hello all. All right, hello. Okay, let's see. So who do we have? We will add the first person on the screen. And there you go. We have Ms. Doris Beckstein, International Market Development Manager, India and Africa from University of Bristol. Doris was educated at University of Tübingen. After completing her MA, she took up teaching roles at the University of Bath, UK, King Saud University of Women in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Other professional experiences include several years of experience in international business development at the Financial Times Business. International education and recruitment has been her focus for over 20 years in senior roles at Bath Spa University and University of Bristol, and also serving a term on the British Council Education Board. Uh, Welcome to HSM, Doris. Thank you so much for taking our time. I know it's early evening out there, and it's good to have you. My only request to you is that this is not a webinar that you are used to. This is definitely not a formal engagement that you're used to. Please ensure that this is a very candid talk. You are talking to the moms and the dads and the students, and we are right now right into their hands in their bedrooms. It's 10 o'clock in the night here in India, and over odd are listening to you right now. So please be as candid as possible so that people enjoy this conversation.
I will be. I will be. Thank you very much. And yes, it's not lovely to be here. I was wondering about the time. It is quite late for you guys. It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon here in the UK. Very gloomy weather. How can I help?
Super. Let me also add Devesh Anand. Devesh is not new. He's pro at HSM now. He has been here earlier. Devesh is his best introduction is that he's that one person who will stand by you whenever you need him. So he is the true friend. Country manager India for University of Bristol. Somebody who picks my calls even late at night, early mornings. At times the work gets better of him, and he would check my message 2 days later, but he will hell ensure that he always gets back to me. Thank you so much, Devesh, for coming to HSM Talks once again. And without wasting time, because almost 1,100 of them are listening to you both right now, my first question to you, Doris, is, Indian parents are always over concerned parents, and I understand that. Possibly when you see an induction, ceremony at a university, you would not see other parents but Indian parents. What do you think? Are going to be your thoughts when you're talking to parents directly, especially when they are looking at UK as a destination, and they are looking at one of the finest universities like University of Bristol, as the person who is in a super senior role, looking at recruitments across India and Africa, what you really think should be looked by a parent before selecting the right university? And now I want you to come across as a senior educator, not just as a representative of University of Bristol. So what should parents keep in mind before selecting the right university for their child?
That's a very good question. And yes, of course, I can understand, and all of my colleagues also understand the anguish and agony of parents sending their children all around the world. And particularly if you come from a culture which is very family oriented, like the Indian culture, where there's a lot of support available and guidance, and where your children are looking out for your guidance from you as parents. You are probably petrified, thinking, I'm going to put them on a plane, and then, what happens? So all of that, what I would say to that is we are all aware of that in our universities. And as you've probably gathered, I was educated in Germany, different system to the UK. I've also worked in other countries, and I can honestly say that the British system of having personal tutors, of taking student welfare really seriously, and induction, and really kind of looking over the undergraduate students, is really unrivaled. You won't find that anywhere to this extent. So that perhaps would allay some of the fears of the parents. But what is important prior to settling into one particular university is, we would always say, make sure that everything is right for your child. So make sure they actually feel comfortable sharing with you what they want to study. Because if they're studying what they are interested in, and not what you think they're interested in, but what they actually want to do, then they will be happy to start with. Over the many years of my, as you've kindly pointed out, long career, I've seen many a student who was set on a particular path because the enthusiasm of their parents led them to this particular course. And then they came and they were really thinking, actually, I wanted to be something else. So be prepared for that. And I've noticed over the years that Indian students are very well aware of this and very open to suggestions there. So that's number one. It should be a subject that they're studying, that they're really emotionally engaged in as well. And they're not doing it out of just duty to their parents, but they're actually wanting, this will be part of their own future. And then look around. Be reasonable. Where can your child go? I'm sure lots of parents would want to get their son and daughter into Oxford or Cambridge, but be reasonable. They are small institutions with very few places. It's hard to get in. So be reasonable and think, what other alternatives are there? What are the entry requirements? Be reasonable. Make sure the person who advises you on this, which hopefully would be in my case Devesh or myself or other colleagues, we would make sure that we give you a reasonable idea of the chances. You don't want your child disappointed at that particular juncture. And then look at the environment. Britain has many universities. It's about 130 universities, and they are very different. You can go to London. There's lots of big universities there, also some small ones. You could go to Scotland, completely different feeling, actually a different education system, to be truthful as well. You could come to somewhere like Bristol, which is close to London, close enough to go there. It's a large city, so, well, maybe not by Indian standards, but by UK standards. It's got a lot to offer. It's got that right balance. Somebody said it's like a Goldilocks type place. It's not too big, not too small. It has everything. It has, and this is where and Devesh knows I'm going to end on this. I know what the main concern of the parents often is there enough Indian food available? Can they do their laundry? Will they be safe? Will they be safe? Of course. So a city like Bristol, for example, or that size city, which roughly about 700,000, is buzzy enough not to be boring for somebody who comes from a busy country. It has a very multicultural feel, so you're not feeling you're out somewhere in the sticks. You don't know what to do there. But it is not as overwhelming, perhaps, as London might be. And then, you need to bring all of that in the mix. See, is this a city? Is the university right? Is the subject right? Where you don't really have to worry too much is whether any one university will care for your child. They will. And that's what I mean when I said, I've studied in a different system myself, worked in a different system, where everybody was from the age of 18. They were just grown-ups. It's all your problem. And that's not the system that we have in the UK. We're very much taking it seriously. We are taking very good care of students, whether they're staying in our accommodation or in private accommodation. There's a lot of checkpoints and controls. And frankly, no time has this become more apparent than right now when, COVID forced everybody into their own bedroom, into quarantine at first, and virtual learning. The amount of money and care spent in the UK as looking after the students. Are they okay? Are they eating? Are they happy? Welfare is a big deal. So there's a lot of support. And that may not be apparent to parents around the world, where maybe in your system that's not something you're used to, but we are used to that. This is what makes the UK system very special, because you have personal tutors, you have specialist tutors, counselors, you have the academics, you have a whole tranche of, we call it global lounge, which is all to do with the social life of students, their sports, everything is there, and nobody's forced to do any one thing. If you can join the Students' Union or you don't, it's up to you. There's so much there, so many touch points to make sure this is a rich experience, not just academically. So my advice would be, make sure that you know as much as a parent as possible about that. Make sure that the entry requirements that we want, this is the kind of, the business bit, that they're realistic for your child, and that the environment, the physical environment of a place like Bristol, for example, is something you can see your child. You know your child best. You might have an introvert. I haven't come across many introverts in India yet. So I don't know. Or you might have a very outgoing child. You know that, and then you can take that judgment as well. All universities are happy to receive you. If you can travel to the UK, they will meet with you, show you around. But equally, if you can't do that, or in COVID, you definitely can't do that right now, you can go on their websites and do virtual tours. So you can get as close to the experience as possible. You can ask for a current student in the field of study that's pertinent to your child to get on the chat with them. We facilitate things like that as well. So, you should never be lacking of information and, an impression of what the place is like. But speaking as a mother myself, I can tell you that the support that is there across the UK is pretty impressive. Sorry, that was a long answer, wasn't it? I can't hear you. Abhishek, you're muted.
Sorry, and I was talking to myself. Wow. All right. So, it wasn't a long answer. It was important that parents understand why high school moms has come up this far. They appreciate it. It's so important to parent the parents. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So this message is actually to all the boys and girls who are listening to me. Isn't it so good that we are actually teaching your moms and dads? They keep on teaching you, right? I mean, tonight is the night that we're going to teach them, and you can safely smile because they are in the learning class. Let them go back to school tonight. It's so important that they should allow you guys to study what you want to study, not what they want you to study. And that's the lesson which I took from what Doris said. It is so important to have a rich experience than just academic experience. That's what Doris said. It is so important to think beyond the obvious, because when you talk about England, why does it have to stop at London? When you talk about US, why does it have to stop at New York? I'm sure there are better places, better student cities. It's like India. Do you guys really want to, if I ask this question right now, Doris, we have two cities in India. One is called Pune and one is called Bangalore. Both of them happen to be student cities. If you ask any parent right now, if they have to send their child to study somewhere in India, they'll definitely say Pune or Bangalore, right? They will never say Delhi. And when they start thinking about an international university, all of a sudden everything is stuck on the capital. And this is so wrong. This is so not right. So thank you so much for telling us about the safety aspect, about the multicultural aspect, about the rich experience aspect, about allowing the child to study what they want to study instead of what they have to study. I'm a classic example. I talk. I love talking. I love interacting. I love counseling kids. Even today, when people ask me, as the founder of High School Moms and International Alliance of Counselors Educators, are you really enjoying your job? I say, I'm definitely enjoying my career counseling job. I'm not too sure about the HSM and INACE part, because HSM and INACE is a different ball game where you have to play your cards right. People are judging you. They are noticing you. They're noticing your actions. But when you are in the zone and wearing the hat of a career counselor, you get live feedback from the parents and the students on platforms like this. There is very little that is not visible to you when you're virtual, because you're noticed. It's much beyond just 2x2 inch screen. So wonderful. Thank you, Doris, for that was a wonderful answer. And it just drives my point, ladies and gentlemen, that please look at multiple aspects than just the city that you're sending your child to. And then you start researching about your universities and colleges. That brings me to another question here, which is coming in the chat before we go into the announcement. So, ladies and gentlemen, those who are listening to me, I have a great announcement. I know some of you have already followed it on our Instagram handle, on our Facebook pages. There have been continuous reminders around this. I keep on getting emails every day that I filled up the form. What is next? So we will come back to it and answer some questions around that. But this great announcement that I have is essentially for the parents and the students of grade 11 and 12, which is the final year of high school and the penultimate year of the high school. And this is one opportunity that you definitely do not want to miss. This is one opportunity that makes me feel, wow, why can't I go back to high school again? This is one opportunity which will allow your child to compete with the best in the world. This is one opportunity where your child might end up getting a certificate of participation, if nothing else, from one of the finest universities in UK. This is one opportunity where you might end up getting a scholarship to study at one of these finest universities in UK. I have a lot of announcement around that. Sit back, hold tight, keep your pens and papers ready. If you are a parent, you call your child to sit next to you right now. If you're a child, you call your parents to sit next to you right now. This is that one best time, the desert time that you need to spend with your family, and end up taking something back home. Sleep over it, because most of you are on your couches and the beds. So sleep over it tonight and take an action tomorrow morning. All right, Devesh, that brings me to another question, which is coming in the chat. This is by a lady called, no, sorry, this is by a gentleman called Praveen. He says, I am planning for my child to apply to UK. Can you please tell me what are the requirements for a student to apply for computer science in your university in terms of academic requirements and otherwise? Will you be able to answer that question, Devesh?
Absolutely. Thank you, Abhishek. And welcome to all the parents and the students as well. With regards to computer science, of course, there are different requirements that you have to meet, and different universities have different requirements as well. At Bristol, what we do is we look at what subjects you're studying in your 12th. So definitely mathematics is a subject that we require the student to study, and also a science subject. So it could be computer science, it could be physics, it could be chemistry. In terms of the grade requirement, we need 90% overall in the 12th. And we need minimum 90 in any science subject. It could be physics, chemistry, or computer science. And we need a minimum 85% in mathematics. So this will be our requirement. Also, students getting 80% and above in English in CBS and ISC boards are also given a waiver for the IELTS exam. These would be the chief requirements of studying computer science. It could vary from university to university, but Bristol, this is the requirement that you would have. And for students studying in A levels or IB, it would be quite similar to this range, wherein you need a A-star AA or you need a 38 points overall.
38 points overall in IB. All right. All right. Thank you, Devesh, for answering that question. My request to everybody who is watching us on Facebook, because the Facebook questions are going up really fast, please allow StreamYard to access your name, because when you allow StreamYard to access your name, the question also reflects into my system. And that's when Devesh can also see it, maybe not all, but few. I can definitely flip across screens and see all of them. As of now, you've not allowed, and that's why your questions are still reflecting on Facebook and not on StreamYard, but it's okay. I will keep on flipping. This is that time when I should welcome new people who are joining in. Gaurangi Bhatt, Sahili Saxena, Shweta Sachdeva, Sohili Datta, Shivani Rupa Bhinda, Avisha Buddhadev, Jyoti Kulkarni, Nishi Sharma, Rasneet Suri, Shweta Khetan, Sheikh Jebunisa, Sakira Bharmal. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for joining it. Neha Vaswani. Now your comment has started coming in after you have allowed StreamYard to access your name. Thank you so much. Okay. So, guys, both Doris and Devesh, I understand we will not get into what Bristol is all about. I'm sure we can do that session anytime again. We can talk more about Bristol. Let's quickly jump into this Earth Day competition, right? Let me thank you on behalf of all the parents and the students of high school, Devesh and Doris, conceptualizing such an activity, bringing it to students free of cost, allowing them to compete at an international level. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of resources at a university's end. Then coordinating with communities like us. People ask me in the education fraternity that you are an organization, and I hate to hear that, because I would always want to believe that I'm building a community, not an organization. That's not how I want to work. to bring an opportunity like this, it takes a massive effort. I want you to understand that Indians and Indian parents really respect what you guys do. We do not have much opportunities like this, barring maybe few of them in a year. Even if these opportunities are there, unfortunately, the news and information doesn't reach to the masses. It goes to the school counselors. Somehow it gets diluted. It does not reach the student. If it reaches the student, it does not reach the parents. Because let's accept it, which teenager wants to talk to the parents today? I mean, my teen doesn't want to talk to me. That's very very clear. I mean, if he sees my face once during the day, he refuses to see my face again, which is fine, because I know how I look, and he has all the right to ignore my presence. But kids don't really get time to talk to their parents, and that's why information doesn't reach. You guys have engaged high school moms as a community and trying to ensure that not only you bring the opportunity, but it is seeded down the length and breadth of this country, not only in tier 1 but tier 2 cities. So thank you so very much. My question to Doris is, Doris, before we understand more about this competition from you and Devesh, I'm really excited to know what went behind when you came up with this idea that let's launch a competition for the high school students. What was the entire discussion in your boardroom like, or the place where you actually ended up coming with this idea? Because this is a phenomenal idea. Not only you're giving an opportunity to the child, but you are trying to come up with innovative solutions to help Mother Earth. Some solutions which might just be so innovative that the best of the learned and the experienced people cannot think of, and a child might just be able to give you a solution to it. So what was the reason, the rationale, the discussion that happened?
Well, it was a long journey. It wasn't an overnight idea. I think the idea to engage with schools directly was always there, and already Devesh has been in post longer than I have for this university, so I think he had that in his mind already. When I started visiting schools in India, I thought, there's so many brilliant minds here, and it was just like a natural thing in the end, a culmination of lots of people having similar sort of concerns and thoughts. And we were so very lucky. We came across Earth Day, the organization Earth Day, and they were fabulous. We contacted them in India, and we thought, we don't know exactly what we haven't got a master plan at this particular moment, but I think Devesh and I both work on synergy. What happens out there? We take the temperature of what do people need or want, or what can they give, and so Earth Day came on board. They were very, very gracious, and we were very grateful for that, because it's a great organization. It gave us a structure, because Earth Day is celebrated on the 22nd of April as well, so we had something to aim for. And within the university, we were extremely lucky, because in the university itself, everybody in my team has a faculty they look after, and I look after the faculty of science, which is exciting because they have all the natural sciences. They have also data science, for example. And we have a new dean there who was also very keen to get engaged. And it was like a perfect recipe. And I think it literally came from there. And then we were very lucky that the dean then suggested to bring in the dean of life science. That's a different faculty. And that's the perfect combination, because there we have people who are doing biology, biomedical, cancer research, all kinds of things, exciting things that all completed the picture of what we can do. And the university, of course, itself is leading in this field. We are the leaders in anything to do with environmental studies. Our guys in research, what they come up with is absolutely amazing. And if there's anybody out there who wants to know about volcanoes, we are the place to study volcanoes. And it's just that kind of university. But going back to the deans then, when we discussed what can we give, what kind of prizes and incentives can we give, they were incredibly generous, because like everywhere in the world, universities are, you know, they have to look after the money. They have to, you know, make sure that they're not going bankrupt. And so, you know, we were so surprised and so amazed that both deans, so straddling both faculties for life science and also for science, agreed to offer not only a generous enough scholarship, that's £3,000 a year, but it's also being paid every year of your studies. That's something to watch out for, because everybody's splashing about news about, we have scholarships. Of course we have scholarships, but they might just be in the first year of a 3 or 4 year degree. So with us in this competition, if you get the scholarship, that £3,000 is given to the student in year 1, and then in year 2 and in year 3, if your degree is 4 years, in year 4 as well. So, you know, that is the difference. But the enthusiasm, I think Doris agrees, from the deans was amazing. We've got some videos where, you know, when you apply to the scholarship, you'll see both deans were interviewed. They are nothing but supportive. And we are the first ones in the team here, in the international office team, to run such scholarships. And I know that all eyes are on us to see, you know, how successful is this. So we're hoping for many, many entries. And we know from talking to hundreds of students and thousands of students over the years that there are such wonderful, innovative young minds out there, particularly in India. I do follow, although I live, of course, in the UK, I do follow the media a lot to do, you know, looking at trying to relate and understand not only to the country itself, the culture, but that particular age group that we are engaging with. And that's, the ingenuity is amazing. And that's what we're looking for in this competition. The genius that people have, the things they come up with. And, you know, the solutions that they come up with to save the earth, that we, even the sort of established scientists, they probably don't see it because, you know, they have a different viewpoint. So that's what we're looking for. And I know it's there. I know it's out there. But you just have to apply for it and see whether you can get, you know, can win one of these scholarships. Doris, you should speak about it as well, because it started with your idea.
Thank you, Doris, and very well spoken about that. And the key thing here is that, you know, the university academics, we are really lucky to have the academics who are world leaders in their subject areas. And some of them are going to Antarctica as well as to the North Pole and doing research there. Others are even doing collaborative research with India, and they're going up to the Himalayas and studying glaciers there. So a lot of knowledge goes into, you know, studying about the climate and taking out research. And then again, we have partners here in India. We partner extensively with IIT Madras. So we thought, why don't we get them on board as well? And students, we meet them all throughout the year, and we sometimes are so amazed at the things that they're doing. Even, you know, in the school, they're going ahead and doing wonderful projects. They're creating, you know, posters, they're creating videos, and they're creating so much awareness about Earth and, you know, the climate and the changes to climate and how they can, you know, help even big governments give them ideas to go ahead and do something about the climate. So we thought, why don't we put the two together? Why don't we get the students in? Why don't we get a wonderful faculty as well as a faculty from IIT Madras and get them to do a brainstorm together, get them to get the ideas out there so that we can see what is the synergy between us and then take that forward as well. So that's how the idea came about, and really glad to be partnering with you, Abhishek, for this as well, because we know that you can really get the word out. And, you know, the students, we've seen the enthusiasm, we've seen the students coming in, participating, asking us questions about it. So it's wonderful to see that the, you know, overall message that we want about the climate change and be responsible for your climate, it's all getting out there as well.
If I may add something to this, I don't know, sorry, Abhishek. If I just may say, we're also running a series of lectures at the moment about facing a world in crisis. We were talking about the earth quality, we're talking about permafrost, we're going to be talking about unnatural hazards, and all of this has to do with trying to save the earth, trying to look back onto what can we do. We know young people they have that on their mind. That's it's their future more than anybody else's. And talking about glaciers, I guess you guys, you were in the news here today about Uttarakhand. There's a glacier coming off. This stuff is really, really, really happening. And we have the people who are researching this. But we need to connect with the young minds who are going to be inheriting this earth and passing it on, to bring in completely left field ideas. Because, when you are talking to young people in that age group, they are not encumbered yet by all the things that we as older people have to abide by, have learned, and things we believe in. They can come up with ideas that, haven't been around yet. And that's what we're looking for in the competition.
Right. And ladies and gentlemen, isn't this so interesting that we often tend to take the nature, the Mother Earth, we take the nature of the earth for granted, and it's about time that we start realizing that there are real problems which require real solutions. We have been ignoring them for far too long. COVID was just the reset button that we all needed. Often we say that these were difficult times. I would like to coin it that these were just different times, not difficult at all, because we were still safely tucked inside our homes. There were people who actually faced the difficulty who were not tucked inside their homes, who didn't have a shelter. Most of us were fortunate enough to be safely tucked inside homes and still connected to the world through this place called internet. And it was a good time for us to realize that we have to, press the reset button for the mankind, for Mother Earth, try and do something which can solve these real problems with real solutions. And that's when thought leaders like University of Bristol comes into picture. They conceptualize an activity which not only be able to aid into their research for finding real solutions to these real problems. They conceptualize an activity where young minds can actually engage themselves with the faculty. They conceptualize an activity where your kids can end up doing a research, and while doing all this can also be recognized for the effort the child is putting in. And if you are good, you end up getting a scholarship, maybe generous, not so generous. I would not like to coin scholarships as generous and not so generous, because when it's a scholarship, it is a scholarship. It's a feeling, it's an emotion, which is more valuable than the money that is offered. It's a feeling of being recognized. It's a feeling of getting motivated. It's a feeling of feeling gratified for the amount of work you have put in. Money is not important. So scholarships are always generous because they end up acknowledging the good thing that you have done. And what beautiful way University of Bristol is coming out there, reaching out to you, empowering communities like High School Moms. I engage with Doris. I engage with Devesh very, very frequently. This is my first opportunity to engage with you. Honestly, I should tell you that every time I engage with Devesh, he has something or the other to contribute as an idea towards High School Moms. He always comes across and says that that I'm in it. That I understand what you're trying to do. We have been on this platform because this is a very informal platform, right? I mean, you're going into their mobiles instead of their laptops, and imagine even after 40 minutes of our conversation, about 948 people right now showing in my screen are still listening to us. And it's almost 11 here, 13 minutes to 11 o'clock in the night. It's so impressive. All right, so let's go to the question again. Devesh, how can these children participate in Earth Day competition? So I understand that they have to pick up a topic. There are a couple of topics available, and either they can submit a video around it with their solution in, or they now can also submit an essay for the students who are not comfortable with the video. And let me thank you, because not everybody is camera comfortable, Devesh. Not everybody is outgoing, like Doris said. So you coming up with an idea where you are allowed a video testimonial or a video pitch, and also a written testimonial or a written pitch. I think you've just got the pulse right. You've just understood the pulse right, and it's so beautiful that you did it. But quickly, Devesh, we are in the last 5-7 minutes of our show. Quickly, stages to participate in the competition. The Earth Day competition, ladies and gentlemen, for students of grade 11 and 12, brought to you by University of Bristol. Here are the details. Please listen to it carefully. If you miss out, the recording will be there on your Facebook pages and Facebook groups. If you still miss out, go and scroll the Instagram handle of High School Moms. If you still miss out, go and scroll the Facebook pages of High School Moms, and you will find the information. Over to you, Devesh.
Thank you, Abhishek. Yes, so it is a wonderful opportunity for students to get engaged. I think it's a brilliant way for you to show that you have a talent and also get a chance for your ideas to be reviewed by panelists who are, world leaders. We have panelists from the University of Bristol, we have panelists from the IIT Madras, and they will be actually looking at your idea and they'll be giving you a feedback on that. So it's a wonderful opportunity to go ahead and participate. Like Abhishek mentioned, it's a free participation. All you have to do is think about two themes. We are running it in two themes. One is a theme of science, and the other theme is life sciences. So whatever your interest is, decide, and then explore a challenge which you feel is the biggest challenge your country is facing and is going to be facing until 2030. So that's the timeline. So identify what you feel is most impacting the country and think about a solution, a simple solution or effective solution that you feel you can propose to us to say that I feel if done in this way, we could lead to or could do further exploration of this. In order to compete, we do have a deadline. So we have 19th of February as the deadline. So that's just another few weeks away. So do keep that in mind. And like Abhishek mentioned, we can accept a video, which is a 2-minute video submission, or an essay, so which is a 500-word essay. So very simple. Either make a video with your first explain the challenge and then give a solution for it, or you can write an essay where you introduce a challenge and give a solution for it. And to submit that, you have to get in touch at the University of Bristol website. We will share the link with you. Otherwise, just contact Abhishek. They have links on HSM website. They have it on the Instagram as well as on the Facebook, and they can connect you or redirect you into our submission portal.
All right. So what I understand, Devesh, is there is a submission portal where these kids will go and upload their video or upload their essay. Is that correct?
So what they'll do is there's a submission form that they will fill out. And in that submission form, we've also given an email address where they can email us the video or email us the essay. So the email address that they have to get in touch with is india-office@bristol.ac.uk.
All right. india-office@bristol.ac.uk. Ladies and gentlemen, in case if you still don't remember it, I'll make it easy for you. Just go to High School Mom's Instagram handle. There is a link in the High School Mom's bio. Just click on that link. It will show you multiple links. Click on the link which says Earth Day Competition, University of Bristol, and rest my team will make it easy for you. You do not have to worry, right? The only thing that I want from your side is, please, for heaven's sake, motivate your children to participate. If you do not allow them to participate in activities like this, they will just become book readers. They will not have an innovative, intuitive, creative, logical, and critical mindset. And all these terms that I used, whether you like it or not, are the 21st century skill sets. And like I always say, that this was that 1 hour where you needed to be taught because you never took the information that came from school seriously, maybe. But this is time that you will start taking things seriously. Your and my children deserve your and my time. They deserve our motivation. Please go out there and motivate them and allow them to participate in this competition. With that, I want to take closing comments from Doris. Ladies and gentlemen, Doris Beckstein beautifully summed it up what you should look at when you are trying to figure out a university in UK. Devesh beautifully told us why and how Earth Day competition was conceptualized. Doris also mentioned how it was not an overnight decision and it took months and weeks of effort to bring a competition like this. And finally, what I really like when Devesh said that it's free to participate, and don't we love it free, man? I mean, I love everything free. Believe you me. I mean, allow me to participate, Devesh. Since it's free, I'll participate. All right. No, I'm just kidding. I want kids and parents to understand that when universities like Bristol are spending money and resources and energy around a competition like this, how important it would be for your and my child to participate, and how important it will be for their profile and their resume and their CV, and how universities will value it when it shows on their resume. This is such a beautiful opportunity. Doris, your last and final words, your parting words. What do you think about high school moms? Do you really think we're trying to solve a problem by parenting the parents in India? Do you really think that we are there making an impact? And what do you feel about the Indian students, and what's your message for them?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for letting me come on this event today. Yes, I do absolutely believe that you make a difference. We know that the parents are the main stakeholders, and they're unfortunately the ones who perhaps have the least information. So there's that kind of, they have all the responsibility and worry, but they don't know where to get the information. That's where you fit in really well, because you give them tools, you tell them, what to look out for and how to help their children. So I think you're doing a great job. I'm sure you've got lots of grateful parents there nodding as we speak. So that makes a huge difference, I think, to any family to make an informed decision. And you're giving people the tools to make a decision without having to, worry that you have another motive behind it. It's just the information as it is, and the advice and the counselling. I think that's really missing, and we are missing that here in the UK. So if you want to branch out, look at Europe.
Very shortly, Doris, very shortly, we are looking at starting a chapter in UAE in next couple of months, and then possibly we'll head out towards Europe. In India, we have a saying, there's a shlok in Sanskrit, which says Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which basically means world is my home. So I won't branch out. I'll just expand my wings and fly out. People generally say that high school moms didn't come in, it flew in. So I would still keep on flying and reach out to Europe one day with your good wishes. But thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful Doris Beckstein from University of Bristol, joining right there from UK, sharing her experience on what you should look at when you identify a university for your child, and explaining it to us why it is so important and so exciting to participate in Earth Day competition. For all those people who are still asking questions like what is the age criteria to participate, once again, let me reiterate, there is no age criteria. The idea is your and my child should be in grade 11 and 12. These are the final 2 years of high school. They have to pick up one out of the two themes. One theme is health sciences. No, Devesh, what are the two themes? If you can just come back again, please.
So sciences and life.
All right. So these are the two themes. The process is very simple. You go onto the submission page, you register. The moment you register, you will find that there is a link, there is an email ID. On that email ID, you submit a 2-minute video or an essay. So if you think you're not comfortable with the video, University of Bristol understands it. Isn't it wonderful? They're not judging you, and you definitely want to participate. They understand it that not everybody can come onto the camera and talk. They understand it that not everybody can write well. But these writing and speaking are two biggest ways of communicating your thoughts. So whichever you like, pick one and participate in Earth Day competition. And while it is important for us to make our profile, while it is important to get that certificate of participation, why it is super awesome to get that scholarship from University of Bristol, let's do it for the sake of Mother Earth. Find some real problems and get some real solutions. Thank you so much, Devesh. Thank you, Doris Beckstein. It was wonderful to have you. I look forward to see you sometime again on HSM Talks. And with that, I wish you a good night, Devesh. Have a great evening, Doris. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining once again on this edition of SSM Talks. Good night. Sleep tight. Stay safe. Keep on wearing your masks, even if you're getting vaccinated, because that's the only way you keep yourself safe. That's the only way you keep your family safe and keep the world safe around you. Thank you so very much, both of you and everybody, for joining in. Good night. God bless.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Bye.